Hey guys, this is Tauna. Today we're going to be going through a bunch of new Aetherdrift stuff shown very recently on the Aetherdrift Magic Story podcast. There was a bunch of new art from it, and we can infer some certain things from it that I'm going to go through as to what I think certain things are, because I think that we could, figure a little bit of it out, and I'm pretty excited about it. They showed all 10 teams now, and they've revealed and kind of fleshed them out a little bit in the video, which was really cool. And there's lots of cool stuff coming from the set, but I'll talk about that later on, because I think it's a really amazing set in most regards, which, yeah, maybe you guys will figure out what I mean by the end of it. The reveals are officially starting on the 21st, but the story is going to be starting on the 13th, which is in just a couple days now. And then they may start some reveals there, because every once in a while they kind of do a couple reveals as the story's kind of going along, where, they show, say, Chandra's character, and then they show her actual card rather than just her art kind of thing. So there's lots of really cool stuff. And I'm really kind of excited for a lot of this set in regards to the actual cards. So before we get into it though, I want to apologize. I haven't been doing as many videos lately. I've actually got a new job, which is really exciting. Doing customer service for a mobile game. And I'm, really excited about that. I've been really kind of busy, kind of catching up and getting into the kind of beginning of that. But hopefully, we can start doing our normal videos from now on. And on that note, make sure you guys subscribe, make sure you share the video around, all that kind of stuff. We've got the instant speed news here. This stuff was yesterday, I think it was. We're getting it out as soon as we can. Sometimes there's a stream and then within an hour I've got a video for it showing you guys all the reveals and stuff. So let's go through all the art, because I think there's some really exciting stuff in here that I want to talk about. And these cards here, a lot of these are really interesting. They've got these new kind of like panorama-ish kind of cards, or at least they've shown like, the art is kind of panorama-ish. Now, if I'm looking at this, I don't know what kind of card this could be from an existing Magic point of view. It could be like just a land, don't get me wrong, but a lot of cards don't really kind of suit this style of art. Like if it's a creature, it has to show it more, in the center of it and stuff. It doesn't really speak instant or sorcery to me, or a vehicle or an artifact or anything along those lines. I think the closest it could be would be a land, but I think that we're going to be seeing some kind of new card type from this to kind of suit these style of cards. I don't know entirely what it's going to be. To me, I was thinking about like the invasion kind of, or battle kind of flip cards from that, especially given how much I've kind of talked about how important Phyrexia was to this, and the previous kind of battles were from that kind of March of Machines set. So it could be very interesting to see that kind of style card here, especially given that we've got the Aether Spark as like one of the key components of it, and a Planeswalker equipment that flipped would be very interesting to me. And you'll see as we kind of go through that there is a lot of these style big art, like, broad kind of panoramic scenes. And to me, I don't think they could all be lands. We've got this new card here, Attune with Aether, showing Nissa there front and center. That most likely, I would say, is an enchantment of some kind. I mean, that's the thing. These could be enchantments, I guess, but that doesn't really make sense. No, that doesn't really make sense either. This one here is Attune with Aether. I assume this is either an instant or sorcery, but it's not really showing any kind of magic or anything like that. So to me, that's kind of saying enchantment, and I think Attune with Aether could easily be a nice enchantment from that. We've got these, see, there's just more of these kind of big, broad scapes. Another one there. This one here could be like an instant or sorcery, given the fact that it's got like that boosting down there. The other thing is that they could be showing them kind of more zoomed out, and then when you actually look at the card, it's kind of more zoomed in on a certain point of this. Like it could just kind of zoom in and show like this section of it or something like that, or it could show the Speed Demon team over here or something like that. They've also got some stuff like this, which is interesting. So while we do have the race kind of going on in the background, that's the kind of focal point of the whole set, is they also show some stuff from like the spectators of it, or, the world building around the actual race. Like, we've got like Avishkar here. And then we've got the Call for Unity as well. This, I don't know if the Call for Unity is getting reprinted or if they've accidentally added in the wrong set code here. But this is like the art from Call for Unity from, what was it, Kaladesh, I think? No, Aether Revolt. And that's the exact same art. So, you know, it could be just the same art and they've accidentally put in the wrong set code here, or we could see a reprint of Call for Unity here. Continuing on, as I said, you know, they're showing some more kind of world building stuff around the actual race. So here's like a Vishkar, like a food vendor kind of thing on the side there. We've got like the fireworks and stuff around Vishkar too. This one here, wish good luck. So this is from the alchemy for Aetherdrift as well, where you've got Nissa saying, hey, good luck to Chandra. Hey, win this for me so I can have my spark back, essentially. This is the starting line here with like the homunculus as the speaker here, kind of the announcer. And we've got like the cars kind of lining up for the race. So this is from Muruganda with the kind of mimoplasms kind of species there. But look in here. Look at that. That is Garruk in there, right? That's very interesting. I wonder if Garruk's going to actually show up or something. Last I know, Garruk was missing, I think. Garruk. I think that it was like Eldraine or something like that. He like got released from Eldraine and then he hasn't been around since then. He ate Sir Ginger's husband and then that was really it. So it's interesting to kind of potentially see him here, or at least, you know, his silhouette there. We've got more Muruganda art here. So this one here, I don't know if this is going to be concept art or what, but that's very interesting as well. Potentially like, you know, they said there's like first place style cards. So this could be an interesting style for that too. We've also got this. Obviously, this is likely an instant or sorcery. Some kind of like, hey, we're going to stop your vehicles-y kind of thing. And plains art from there. So into the actual teams here, we've got the Aether Rangers first up. So this is, I believe, Spitfire, which is one of the co-captains of it, with the other one being Pia Nala, Chandra's mum. And apparently Spitfire, you know, that's a pseudonym for them. Pseudonym, is that the right word? A disguised name, and we'll actually find out their real name and why they use a disguised name here. We've also got, you know, their kind of vehicles showing off kind of that Aether that Avishkar / Kaladesh is kind of famous for. And this art here is really cool. I love this kind of retro cell shaded kind of style art. Takes me back to kind of like my childhood, or like some kind of I can't think of it. Like when, not when it's actual 80s, but like when they're pretending to be 80s kind of style art. We've got the Champions of Amonkhet here. There's some very interesting stuff from Amonkhet too. So obviously, you know, they've got the mummies and stuff, and they're kind of rebuilding post Nicol Bolas, Phyrexia, etc. And, you know, rebuilding their plane and kind of starting up as a civilization and stuff again. Here, this is really cool art here. I assume this one could be a creature, like kind of zoomed in on here. Or it's a vehicle, I guess. A vehicle would make sense. Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? There's some really cool stuff they could do with that. But here's another one of those kind of big panoramic scenes. Again, you know, we could be looking at like a land, but I think there's too many for there to be, unless we've got like, you know, 2-3 land cycles or something like that. This would be way too many different ones of these big, broad panoramic views. And we've got the Speed Demon down here in the foreground as well. So we've got the Cloudspire racing team. So these guys are from Kylam and they were the previous winners. Chandra has gone and joined them. And we've got, I can't remember his name, as the co-leader. They've kind of got those like low drag, high speed, high velocity kind of vehicles there. We've got the Guidelight Voyagers, which just are amazing. I absolutely love these guys. Look at them. They're so cute. So their storyline is essentially that they accidentally fell through a through an open omen path, and now they're trying to find their way back because they figured out that if they went high enough speed, or which is what they did originally, they went high enough speed, they went through an omen path, and then they caused an anomaly there, essentially. So when they went through this, they're going through and trying to do it again, essentially, during the race, and trying to go, break that anomaly barrier and break the omen path, essentially, to get back home to their home plane. And the thing is, I put a plane with a question mark there because these guys could be from the Edge of Eternities, like those, the Area Plus, the Blind Eternities kind of stuff. They're really cool. They look like really cute robots, essentially, which is really awesome. We've got the Speed Demons from Duskmourn. So this has has Winter as the leader alongside the Speed Demon. So they're called the Speed Demons, but their leader is called the Speed Demon as well. They also have Loot strapped in as a GPS that they're using too. But they're like, all the muscle cars and using the kind of the phantasms and the glitch ghosts and stuff to just go really, really fast and stuff. We've got some really cool art from them. I'm really excited for these guys, as corny as they are. We've got the Goblin Rocketeers here too. So these are from an unknown new plane. They essentially managed to get here by, on their planet, they worship the speed god, which is called the boost god. And their whole thing was that they were trapped on their plane. They were trapped on their planet, and they were trying to escape to kind of prove that they were able to, as well as to, win the favor of their god. So they went high velocity. They managed to pierce this velocity barrier, and when they did, they went through an omen path and ended up here. So they're trying to get back, essentially, to prove, hey, we can get past here, as well as they just love racing and stuff. So they're very much around that kind of, goblin, chaotic, cool, mechanical stuff. And yeah, Boost God is in all caps. And they actually showed this infographic a couple times during it. I don't know if that means that, the Boost God's actually going to be important, or if they just wanted to show a cool infographic through it. We've got the Alacrian Quick Beasts, which are very similar to the, the Avatar, like the Blue People Avatar, where they kind of bond with their vehicles, but they're actually beasts that they ride and stuff. So they form a bond with them, whether through a soul bond, where they naturally kind of bond to them, or through training, and eventually they kind of build up that bond enough to be able to kind of race together. And we've got a couple of different types of creatures that they're kind of, brought along with them. We've got the Speed Brood, which is from an unknown new plane. They're using bugs, and the bugs that they have, eventually, they are trying to win the favor of their, higher ups, and then they end up actually getting to metamorphize into one of the vehicles. And you can see that with one of the cards that has been revealed so far, the Earth Rumbler, where you exile cards from your graveyard to be able to turn it into a vehicle where you don't need to, crew it then. We've got the Keelhaulers from an unknown new plane, where they are all pirates and mostly sharks, but other pirate themed people. They've got Ragavan and I can't remember the other pirate's chick's name with them. And they are kind of, just pirate chaotic. The actual shark people eat Aether as well. They ingest Aether, which is really cool to see. And then we've got the End Rider. So these guys are from Gastal, which is a Cool's plane from OTJ, which is just Mad Max, essentially. They've got water wars. There's, they're fighting over water because water's really rare, and they are, their vehicles run on gasoline, and it's a whole, it's essentially Mad Max, desert style, everything's destroyed, and everyone's, look at that. That's Mad Max. And this is Far Fortune from memory, and she is the leader of them. So I guess the kind of big things to infer here, first of all, there's 10 different teams, and that's going to be, each team is a 2-color combo. So say, for example, the Alacrian Quick Beasts, they may be Silencia, for example, Silencia. Or, the guys here may be, or either Rakdos or Gruul. I think that they're going to be Gruul though. And yeah, it's pretty cool. But I think the big thing that's kind of, coming out and speaking to me a lot from what the art they've kind of shown is there's so many of these like really broad, zoomed out, plain style, like, art where they're just looking out and showing like a really big panorama kind of thing of the race track. So I don't think that these are going to be enchantments, and I can't think of anything in Magic currently that they would suit necessarily. Besides like battles, and the battle art from thingy from March of the Machine kind of suits it when you have a look at the kind of big broad style panorama ish kind of stuff where it's zoomed out showing like the big kind of battles across it and stuff. So yeah, it's very interesting. I'm gonna be very interested to see what exactly this art ends up being and stuff, but yeah, there's some really, really cool stuff in here, which probably makes me more frustrated about it. It's a really, really cool set, and there's just a huge amount of world building and lore and stuff that's kind of gone into it. And then they've taken all this new world building and planes and new creatures and all that stuff, and then added into a Mario Kart Death Race style weird set. I wonder if like a Hunger Games style wouldn't have been better, where each team is giving over a squad for like a Hunger Games style death battle royale kind of thing. And I don't think the battle royales are kind of, overdone too much. I think that they're a little bit overdone in regards to video games, but I think that it would make a more interesting set than this kind of weird race. At least they've kind of gone out of their way to explain the race and kind of build it up. And I think that the world building really kind of puts to shame stuff like OTJ, where you look at Outlaws of Thunder Junction and the world building was there, but not great. When even like, if you have a look at like the End Riders, I feel like a whole much more world building has gone into each one of these teams compared to OTJ, which is both really, really great to kind of see, but also kind of, it makes me kind of frustrated that it feels like it's kind of wasted on a racing based set. But maybe I'm, the only one that thinks that. I am actually really excited for these cards, especially because one of my favorite decks is my Edward Kenway deck, and that's the deck that I've kind of gone ahead and put a whole bunch of effort into and stuff. So getting more vehicles, getting more, pirates and stuff, it's pretty exciting. Potentially more assassins in here as well, would be really cool. And I'm really excited to kind of see what this is. I think the kind of, as I said, like the big takeaways are, Garruk looks like he's back. It looks like we've potentially got some kind of new card type, which is really cool. But let me know what you guys think, what your thoughts are. I hope you guys had a wonderful day, and goodbye.